Hey, good morning. It's Dr. James. I do hope and I pray this message finds you and your loved ones peaceful, safe, and thriving. And this morning, I want to share with you an experience that I had over 30 years ago. And many people have had an experience like this in this community. You've shared this with me. I went off and I wanted to study spirituality. I wanted to figure out how I could get out of my small stinking thinking rotation, the rumination of not being enough. A lot of PTSD of my childhood. I was trying to figure out how to remove myself from self-oppression and really free myself. These shackles that I put on myself through so much self-judgment and just really, really wanting to see if I could love myself without conditions. Right? We're only 40 seconds in. I'm just really bearing my soul. But if you can relate to this, I know that many people have been on searches, and my search brought me to Tibet and Nepal and India. I wanted to study. I wanted to be around people who I deem were very good at spirituality, in particular, mastering the practice of self-compassion. You know, Buddhism is really a powerful movement in relationship to compassion for others. I mean, the Dalai Lama, who is someone who I've been in that energy field, and he is one of those people, when you're in his energy field, you're like, oh my goodness, you can't help but be raised up just being in that presence. And for someone who's been, in my estimation, probably one of the greatest teachers of compassion, given what he has been through, given what his people have been through in Tibet, through what the Chinese have done, and and living in exile as he has for most of his life, this is an opportunity for us to consider today how much of what we're trying to figure out, I believe, is how do we see one another? We're trying to find our way outside of the pandemic, even though I know there are pieces and there's still a lot of strain and understanding and trying to figure out what it is that we can be doing as we start to move back into getting back together again. And what a powerful metaphor that is. You know, after this pandemic, getting back together again. What's happened after the unbelievable dark tragedy of George Floyd, and you look at what we have going on around us, and how that is, you know, his example for all of us, the devastation of what that taught all of us, and we see all the other lives that now we're learning about, or at least they've come back to be in the forefront as they should have always been, but now we get an opportunity. And this opportunity is based on something I was taught by His Holiness. And it's the practice of soft eyes. I mentioned it in a previous message, but I want to really make sure you understand how powerful this really is. And not just in relationship to how we see other human beings, but most importantly, there is a window every single morning. I love to say it's the opportunity for personal growth. It's when you turn your light on first thing in the morning in your bathroom, and then you see yourself first thing. You see yourself. You're in the mirror, and you can be quick to say, oh my goodness, I look like I didn't sleep last night, or oh my goodness, who's the old person who rented my face? I mean, we're like someone like me who's got all these crow's feet in my eyes because I typically am a molar exposing smiler. Here's the practice. Stop before you brush your teeth, before you do anything, and just take a few moments and breathe while you look at yourself in the mirror. And do it with the softest of eyes. If you come in first thing and you're judging yourself, or you're discriminating against yourself, or you're oppressing yourself, breathe through it, release it, let go of it. And eventually you should land in a place of self-acceptance. Radical, beautiful, unconditional self-acceptance. And what I'm finding as I'm getting older, it doesn't hurt to do it several times a day. I see mirrors, dozens of times a day. And I should really find myself more and more, not seeing whether or not, you look short in that outfit, or your face looks old, or your skin doesn't this, or your hair is whatever. It's, can I get beyond those things and just see the divinity, see the light, and see it with love? Soften, accept. Be. When we do this, our body releases oxytocin. And we go throughout the world almost pollinating other human beings because oxytocin is palpably contagious. So this is a way that we become more and more like demonstrations of possibility, like I could say possibilitarians. So give yourself the practice of building oxytocin. See yourself as a pollinator for possibility. See yourself as an agent for healing by beginning with yourself. Each and every morning, a few moments of acknowledgement and acceptance that's radically awake can change everything. Every moment of our lives, we can become demonstrations. We become agents for change. We become vessels of love. But it has to start here so it can go out there. So with that, much love, all blessings. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.